Hello, this is Ken and Ashley. We're here to give you a status update on our Sudoku game that we're working on for the CIT 260 class. We wanted to start off with some of the changes that we've made to our code. We've spent the last several weeks kind of cleaning up things, restructuring our code, and making sure that things make sense. The biggest change that we've made revolves around how our menu classes work, and we wanted to share that with you. We've implemented the application controller pattern to make these menus work. So to start, we'll go to our actual base menu class. This is the parent class that we've created, and all of our other menu classes inherit their functionality from this class. So to start, to our code, we've spent the last several weeks kind of cleaning up things, restructuring. Sorry about the echo. Each class has a hash map, which is basically like a dictionary that maps strings to a menu item command object, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. Then they all implement this get input method, which is required by the display info interface, which we'll also talk about here in a minute. We loop through. We continue to ask the user for commands to enter, and as long as they don't enter Q, we'll keep going. And whatever they type us, we'll see if there's a value in our hash map for it, and if there is, then we'll call the handle it method on that command. So, and then down here, we loop through all the commands in our list, and we print them out to the screen so that the user can see what they are. So to give you an idea of why that works, we'll start by showing you the menu item command. This is an interface. And it basically says that each class that implements this interface will have a method called getName and a method called handleIt. And so that will then execute whatever instructions there are. So for example, we can go to our main menu. And here we are using kind of polymorphism here to put different commands into that hash map you saw. And here are the actual command classes. So we have this is the new game handler. It's in charge of displaying new games to the user. So here you can see it returns the name that corresponds with the command. And then for our handle it, we just create a new game menu view, and we call get input on that class. And likewise for all the classes down the line. We decided to put these classes, these private classes, inside the parent class simply because they don't make any sense outside of that. So we thought that that would kind of increase our code cohesion and make things couple a little bit nicer. So, and they're static classes because they don't need to change, static finals, because they don't need to change, and they can be shared across instances of the main menu view. We don't need to be instantiating these new classes each time we want to create a new menu. So that's a little bit about what we've done for our menu. Ashley's going to talk a little bit more now about how we've organized and structured our code.
Okay, so we decided to create a second package that we could put all of our menu classes in so that it's a little bit more organized. So we created this Sudoku 260.menu package, and in it we have all of our menu classes, which we actually condensed down. Instead of having a menu controller and a menu view for each class, we just made them all into the views like Ken was talking, and then in that we have instead of the controller, we implemented these handlers. And then for an example of using enumerations, we have our game difficulty class where we have these enumerated values that make it a lot easier for us to control the easy, medium, and hard settings so that we can set a specific value to those. And yeah, I think that's pretty much how we organized our code. We got rid of a lot of classes that we didn't need and used some subclasses to organize it better.
And along with that too, we've also added like some basic Java beans to help make moving data around the application easier. So for instance, this coordinate wrapper is a Java bean. You can tell because it has private methods, it's serializable and uses getters and setters. And this just helps us move around coordinates between different parts of the application so that we don't have to pass around an x and a y value each and every time. We just have this one method that does that. So just to give you a brief status update of where it's at, I can run the application here real fast for you. You can see that it still compiles and works great. You can go to a help menu, see information about the game. You can quit, you can run a new game, and it takes it a while. And it still generates the Sudoku board, which is now fully playable. So that is where we're at. We have pretty much a fully functioning game at this point. We need to add a few more refinements and a few more tests to our package, but other than that, that's everything. So, thank you guys for your time.